Good evening. In today's segment, we are going to digress a little bit from our usual topic, home security tips. Today, we are going to be talking about home health. In particular, how to store and utilize foodstuffs. But before we go on, let us have a look at what cross-contamination is. What are we talking about here? In cross-contamination, we are talking about a situation whereby one particular foodstuff goes ahead to contaminate other foodstuffs wherever they are stored. So, in order to avoid that, what should we do? Number one, always wash your hands before you handle food and after handling food. Whilst we are on this, let us also remind each other that you need to always wash your fruits as well as vegetables. Even if you intend to peel them, go ahead and wash them to avoid cross-contamination. And then next, what you need to remember is you should always wash your utensils with warm, soapy water. Utensils and other surfaces in the kitchen. Use warm, soapy water. Remember, when storing foodstuffs, there are certain foodstuffs, especially perishables, your milk, your butter, and so on, perishables. They will need to be stored in the fridge or in the freezer. But non-perishables, like your potatoes, your onions, you just need to store them in a cool, dry place. So look around your home and find a place which is just cool and dry so that you store these non-perishables. Whilst we are at storage of foodstuffs, remember, there are some foodstuffs which will need to be placed in a container, any container, and covered up. And that will be it. But certain foodstuffs will require to be stored in containers, but containers which are airtight. Even if you store these at room temperature, you need to ensure that the containers have got airtight lids. Usually, if it is packed material, like we're talking about your mayonnaise and so on, it will be indicated on the packaging that once opened, please keep in an airtight container, even if it's at room temperature. Then, still on cross-contamination, let us look at what you need to take care of in the fridge. You need to take note and avoid storing meat above cooked food. Always store your meat below the cooked foodstuffs so as to avoid cross-contamination in the event that the meat starts to defreeze or something. And outside the fridge, you need to take note that you must use different cutting boards and different utensils for cooked and non-cooked food. Oftentimes we see one grater, for example, being used for different kinds of foodstuffs. One cutting board being used for raw meat as well as cooked stuff, and so on and so on. That situation will promote cross-contamination. In our next segment, we are going to be having a look at something interesting. The 2-hour rule as well as the 4-hour rule in preserving food and avoiding cross-contamination. Thank you.